it's a million and one. I'm gonna be that one. Should you watch this movie? Alright, here's the truth about Camila Cabello's Cinderella. Hey there, it's Kristen, and today we are talking about the brand new Cinderella film coming to Amazon this Friday. It stars Camila Cabello in her acting debut alongside Idina Menzel, Billy Porter, and so many more stars. This is a modern movie musical adaptation of Cinderella, directed and written by Kay Cannon, who you may know from the Pitch Perfect movies and directing Blockers. And this is a bit different than the classic Cinderella story. She's a bit more ambitious. She's trying to make big dreams come true, but did they succeed? Let's get into it. Consider subscribing if you like my videos and drop down in the comments and let me know your thoughts on this Cinderella. Are you anticipating it? Are you a Camila Cabello fan, or could you take this or leave it? So first of all, what I want to say about this film is that I wouldn't compare it necessarily even to the original animated Cinderella or, the Cinderella of 2015. This to me felt a bit more in line with the Brandy Cinderella in the terms of them telling like a pretty different story. It's got a mixture of original songs and cover songs. Instead of Cinderella, struggling with her step family and wanting to go off and kind of be whisked away by the prince, get married and become a princess, this story instead focuses more on women and their place in this world. Cinderella is a person who is very ambitious. She wants to be a businesswoman. She wants to be a dressmaker, and that's something that's frowned upon in this town. But she's someone who refuses to give up. You have their stepmother who's all about them marrying rich, and how she dealt with those struggles of wanting to achieve your dream and being a doting wife, and doesn't see that as being possible for Cinderella. And I think what we're seeing here goes across the board for all of the female characters. Even the queen and the princess in this film have a hard time having their voices heard and being taken seriously by the men in this film. And you kind of get this theme of like choosing love versus choosing yourself, and this idea that there's certain things women are not allowed to do that we need to break away from. Let's talk about the acting performances. I have to say I was so impressed by Camila Cabello. She was very natural, very charming. She had this effortless quality to her. And honestly, I thought her acting was even more impressive than her singing at times. I also love the chemistry that she had with Nicholas Galitzine, who plays the prince. And I also really enjoyed that we dove into his story as well, about what it's like for him, that pressure to find someone and to take on this crown. And he's an actor that I've seen in a couple of things and always been impressed by. And so I'm really excited to see him taking on even bigger roles that show even more of his range, because I think he did a really great job. We also have the stepmother played by Idina Menzel, who I think gave a lot of heart to this character. She wasn't necessarily as wicked as it seemed. I think the stepsisters as well even learn a lot from Cinderella, and kind of dive into these ideas of how do you feel about yourself? Like, who cares what other people think? And I really liked that message. When it comes to Fab G, our fabulous godmother played by Billy Porter, I thought it was so fun, but Billy Porter just did not get enough screen time. He really only had that one scene where he transforms Cinderella and puts her in this beautiful gown. And outside of that, you heard him narrating a little bit in the intro and outro, but he was not seen again. And I thought that was disappointing. I was expecting to see more. It did feel like they might be pulling at times from other classic fairy tales and stories that we've seen before, like the prince sings Somebody to Love, which they had in Ella Enchanted, and that was like a very iconic scene. And Minnie Driver was also in that film, and she was in this film. The prince also got all decked out in a disguise and snuck out into the marketplace. That felt very like Jasmine and Aladdin. So, I felt like there was like little hints and nods to other fairy tales. I don't know if they were done purposely or not, but I recognized them. When it comes to the music, I think overall the performances were well done, but it was a little bit weird sometimes coming in and out of a song that was like, okay, this is a cover, now this is an original. And some of the songs I thought were, they made sense, but I was like, oh, interesting. I haven't heard this song in a while. Like, they were a lot of older songs. One of my favorites, though, was his performance of What a Man that the women at the ball all performed for the prince. I thought that was really funny. And that definitely had Pitch Perfect vibes in it. Like, that was just like quintessential Kay Cannon Pitch Perfect to me. I wish that there had been a bit more diversity like there was in the Brandy Cinderella. Like, that one, I love that they just like completely blind casted that. It didn't even matter that like the prince was Asian and his mom was black and his dad was white. Like, it didn't even matter, and I loved that. And I think for me, that was something that was missing a bit in this project, especially when you have someone like Billy Porter and you're like, okay, well, where is he? I'm not seeing very much of him in this film. There were also a couple of production moments and sets that looked a bit off or kind of fake, like they were filmed on a lot. When it comes down to it, I think that there were times when this film was a little bit cheesy, but it was also really cute. I think that it has a certain demographic. Families and young people and Camila Cabello fans will have a lot of fun with this one. That's really the word for it. It was really cute. It was really fun. And I think they did have really great messages about what women can do, what we're capable of. Yes, it was a bit heavy handed, but I think that's the point of this. It's definitely geared toward a bit of a younger audience. And I think that this is a really great moment for someone like Camila Cabello to come in. She's a Latina playing Cinderella, and I thought that she just slayed it. Like, she really brought a lot of charisma to the screen, and I was impressed. As I was watching this at home, I just was thinking, like, this would be really fun to watch in a theater. Like, you have the big spectacle musical going on, you have this empowering female-led story. Overall, it was cute. It was a little bit goofy, but I enjoyed it for what it was, and I think it had some fun songs. And I think this was a really nice debut performance for Camila Cabello. If you like this one, you can check out more of my reviews right over here, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.